Hello, friends. Welcome to today's football predictions of Betfair. Another very beautiful Wednesday morning, and once again we back with our predictions. Okay, all right. We always look at football matches that are going on across the globe, and we select a few of these matches and make values of these games using the recent results, as our data. Studying, how they fared in recent times. Using those results, we always come up with the value for this each of these games. That's what we're doing on a daily basis. All right, and exactly what we're going to do in a short while. Okay. Although yesterday we didn't have the best of days, but but we've been doing very well with our method, and we've been winning matches most of the time. And hopefully today we're going to have a very good outing. So today, we'll do just that. All right, in a short while. But I want to remind you to remember to join our channel membership of VIP special, where we put out games that have that high probability of coming out correctly. You can always find the link to data membership in the description of this very video, as well as anywhere you see join channel membership around this very video. Okay, and that being said, we head to the business of today. We start with the first match. It is a match in Danish Cup, where we have a Middelfart and who will be up against Silkeborg. And Middelfart is actually in the second division, and we know that Silkeborg is in the top flight division in Danish league. And we do see that in the last 6 games for Middelfart, they've actually had one win and one loss, having 4 draws out of the last 6 matches that they had. And the away side, Silkeborg on the other hand have won just 2 games and a draw in the last 6 matches, and we saw them losing 3 games out of the last 6 games that they had so far. All right, when you take a look at how the two teams fared from home and away perspective, you could say that Middelfart, the home side, have actually done fairly well from home, winning 5 games and 4 draws. They've also had one loss in the last 10 home games. They've been doing very well. The last 3 home games they had, saw them playing out of 3 draws, recent times. All right, and for Silkeborg, we could say in the last 10 away matches that they had, because they're coming from away, they've actually won 4 matches and a draw, and they've had 5 losses. All right, the last away game we saw them losing to Mighty Land, but previously that we saw them also beating Hvidovre from away by 3 goals to 2. This is a top flight team in Denmark, and we'll be leaning towards the way side, because we believe that the way side will be having a better quality when compared the two of them. So we are going with the way side Silkeborg to win out of this very one. So I will win. That's our value for that very game. All right, and we head to the next for today. It is also in the Danish Cup, where we'll have FA 2000 will be facing Hvidovre. All right, and we know that FA 2000 is also a lower side in lower. It's actually in third division of the Danish league, and we have Hvidovre, who is actually in the second division. All right, so when you look at FA 2000, we could see that in the last 6 games that they had, they've won 3 games and they've lost 3 matches in the last 6 recent encounters. For the Hvidovre, their side, 2 victories and 3 draws, as well as a single loss in the last 6 games that they had so far. So, and from home and away perspective, you can see that these guys are the home side. FA 2000 does very well from home. They've totally had 5 victories, 4 draws, and 1 loss in the last 10 home games. But away side, Hvidovre, on the other hand, have had 3 wins and a draw. They've also lost 6 games in the last 10 away matches that they had so far. But their side back to quality, we could see how they fared against the side like Limbe, and they were able to, defeat Limbe on that very occasion by 2 goals to 1, and the second to the last away game that they had. Even though the last away game they had saw them losing to Aalborg 4-0. But here, we know that the last time they met saw Hvidovre from away, even though it was 4 years ago, but they won against FA 2000 by 3 goals to 0 from away. And here we'll be expecting Hvidovre, their way side, or to do very well. We know that their way side is a side that is in the higher level of the league, and we do expect them to do very well against a lower side. So we expect our will to win outrightly. That's what we're for that very game. Okay, and we get head to the next for today. It is in Costa Rica Liga de Ascenso, where we have ADR Jicaral will be up against Grecia. All right, for Jicaral in the last 6 matches, we could see they've won 3 games and 2 draws. They've also lost 1 match out of the last 6 matches that they had so far. And the west side, and then Grecia, we saw them winning 1 match and drawing 1, and also they've lost 4 games out of the last 6 encounters. And when you look at how these two teams are fared from home and away basis, you could say Jicaral, the home side, does so very well from home. In the last 10 home matches they've had so far, I've seen them winning 8 games and drawing 1. They've also lost 1 in the last 10 home matches that they have so far. And the away side, Grecia, on the other hand, have won 4 matches from away. They've also lost 6 games in the last 10 away matches that they have so far. So we expect the home side, who does so very well in the last 10 home matches, and we could see that they're doing so very well, winning the likes of Rosario and Santa Cruz, you know. And on head-to-head basis, you can see the last time Bolton Spurs was actually in March of this very year. We saw the home side, Jicaral, beating Grecia by 3 goals to 0 on that very occasion. Even though the meeting prior to that very one was a 1-0 draw, on that occasion, Jicaral played from away, but here Jicaral is playing from home, and from the look of things, each time they play from home, they always have upper hand against this very side. So we are going with the home side, Jicaral, to win Arsenal in this very one. So a home win that's provided for that very one. And we head to the next, which are going to be the last for today. It is in the Finnish Kako Kane League, where we have a GrIFK will be up against the BJS. All right, and we'll look at the recent games for these two sides. You can see that for the home side, GrIFK, they've actually won 3 matches and a draw. They've lost 2 games out of the last 6 matches that they have so far. And the away side, BJS, you could say they've won 4 matches and they've had 2 draws out of the last 6 matches. All right, when you look at how the two teams have performed from home and away perspective, GrIFK, the home side, has actually been able to achieve 5 victories and a draw. They've lost 4 matches out of the last 10 home matches that they had. And BJS, on the other hand, have actually done very well, winning 6 games and drawing 1, losing 3 matches out of the last 10 away matches. Okay, when you take a look at the score line, you can see that these are teams that produce lots of goals when they're playing. And you look at the home side, the GrIFK, the last 10 home matches that they have so far produced over 2.5 9 times out of 10. That's also a lot about this very side. Even when they're playing from away, they also have a very, very decent scoreline in most of the matches. You can see that the away games they had in the past, 10 away games produced over 2.5, 7 times out of 10 for GrIFK, the home side. So even when they're playing from home, they score more. They produce over 2.5 9 times out of 10. And for their away side, BJS, also a very similar outcome. We could say that 8 times out of 10 they've had over 2.5 in the last 10 away games that they have so far. When we put all this stuff together, knowing the fact that recent games for both sides produced a lot of goals. The last 2 home matches saw GrIFK scoring 5 and scoring 3 the last 2, and BJS scored 3 on each occasion. So we put all this together, we expect to see a lot of goals here. Even though the last time they met was a 1-0 draw, but here we're going to see goals coming up this very one. So we go with that and over 2.5, a minimum of 3 goals to occur in this very encounter. That's what we're value for that very game, okay? And that concludes it for us today on BetCraft. We wish you the very best of luck and hope your ticket goes going. Also remember to play responsibly, as these are football games. Sometimes it may not be exactly what it presents. All right. Also remember that the other games that we have for you today will be on our VIP group. We'll put out games that we believe to have that type of probability of coming out correctly. Do endeavor to join. Also, a link to that group will be in the description of this very video, as well as anywhere you see join channel membership around this very video. All right. That being said, tomorrow is another day. We'll definitely be back with our predictions on this very channel to not miss out. But at that time, keep winning.